Good morning,
I love it.
Linda.
Good morning, Brittany. I love how happy that is.
I know, right? Definitely enjoyable. I am super excited. I love your new backdrop. It's
Thank you.
amazing. Just so you know, I'm a big fan of it. All right, I would love to know, Linda, what's our topic?
I want to talk about the holidays are coming up and we need to be very intentional either in our business or in our work about what needs to get done so that it doesn't get lost in the crush of the season. Um, a lot of a lot of businesses kind of try to coast through the end of the year, and that's really a mistake. You want to be intentional about your offers. You want to have your offer for the new year. You want to have your holiday offer. If you work for someone else, you want to have your head clear. Even if you don't on a regular basis, which you probably should, plan your days, plan your schedule so that you have time to get the things done that need to get done and you have time to enjoy the holiday season. So it's not this, you know what I mean?
I do. I completely understand what you mean. And I love that because that happens to be the theme of this week. We've been talking about how different businesses have from now until the end of the year a different system. Some are booked. An essential basket has your whole house turns into basket land, right?
Which is
Um,
so fun.
yeah, services turn into like, oh my goodness, we have to get this out, we have to do this, we have to rush, rush, rush and get things done. Or not services, but products. Services
Mhm,
tend to go depending on the service. If it's photography, it picks up. If it's because Kat has a huge
mhm.
her photography. But if it's photography, it picks up. If it's coaching, sometimes that slows down so that people can have that mental health. Sometimes it picks up because people need that mental health.
Yep.
So really what company, what is your business? Where are you looking in that business space of, okay, if I'm slowing down, then how do I get prepped for the new year? And this is a huge thing to keep in mind because, yeah, you might be slow. However, you could get ahead. And that way, in January, you have your new year stuff, you've got your things put together. Um, and you can revamp and relook at your calendar. Where were you crushed for time, and how can you preemptively fix that time loop? That's all the things we've been talking about this week. So I love that you brought up that topic.
Well, yeah, because I know a lot of business owners, especially if they're solopreneurs, we kind of have a tendency to say, okay, well, today this is what I'm going to work on, which is great. But what are you working on this week? What are you working on this month? The idea is to have it be a smooth transition so you're not having that roller coaster ride. And, Halloween is next week. And, the stores and everything have just kind of skipped over Halloween and Thanksgiving, and it's already Christmas time for them. They're planning ahead. So, what you want to do is sit down and look at what do you need to accomplish by the end of the year. We're the fourth quarter and we're almost a third of the way in. What can you tweak? And look at your holiday season and what do you already know is going to be family time? What have you set aside for that? And then look at the business things that you want to accomplish and how can you fit those in? And if it looks like it's going to be too much, what are the most important things to concentrate on? And then, you know, starting in the new year, start to plan out a little bit farther ahead. And I know a lot of us like to just, we want to go with the flow. Many of us left corporate because we didn't want that kind of environment, but there are parts of that environment that are there for a reason. And the planning really is essential. And if nothing else, for your own peace of mind. So you don't wake up at 2 in the morning going, oh, I got to get this done by 5. Help yourself have a, you know, stay mentally in the game and not stress so much by planning ahead a little bit.
Well, and understand also in November, you're taking 4 days off. So, what can you get done before those 4 days so that that 4 day impact doesn't hit the rest of November? In December, we normally people take the week of Christmas to New Year's, right? If you're not working in a normal job, you're taking that week for family or for just downtime. So, how can you preemptively get things done ahead of time so that those times don't mess with you. And if it is your slow season, look at your objectives. Where are you for that year? How close did you get to them? And how can you adjust those for next year, as well as, maintaining that time for yourself? Like you said, don't wake up on January 1st and realize you haven't done your New Year's promotions. Don't wake up on Valentine's Day when you had all of, December to down, you could have set your Valentine's Day stuff. Look at what is coming up. If I'm slow and I don't have the clients, what can I work on that's coming out? If you have packages or promotions that are brand new, maybe start working on those. We talked about that earlier this week.
Right. And depending on, you know, a lot of us, especially solopreneurs, we're on the calendar year, but you might work for government that could be July to June or October to September. So don't even approach it as this being year end. Approach this as this is what needs to get done for now, and this is what needs to get done for this quarter, or this is what needs to get done for this month, and help yourself by spreading things out as much as you can so that you're not in that high stress mode, because the holidays can be stressful anyway depending on your family situation. Right? So don't add the stress of work on top of that, or the stress of your business on top of that. um, and if family time is stressful, then make it so that you're not stressing about 5 things at once.
Exactly. And it's important, and like you brought up, family time becomes stressful. And so if you're anxiety and you're anxious and you're in a space where you can't focus, give yourself space. Let yourself, we're telling you, hey, work ahead. Look at next quarter. If you're slow, this quarter should wrap up pretty quickly. Work on next quarter, but also give yourself the grace of, I am having an anxiety attack because I have to meet with these people that I enjoy sometimes, and sometimes
Just
it
maybe
might
not this.
be less, depending on who it is and depending on what you're looking at. So understand that the holiday season is the time of year where people have those emotions of super angst and super, it's you're happy, but then you're also depressed at different times, and there's a lot of emotions in the holidays. So allow yourself the space to understand that. I This might be a day where I just take a mental health day and I go for a hike, or we talked about what does your spa day look like. Take those a
Right.
little bit more often, and if it is a time when you're super busy, right? We've been talking about, oh, look at the future, because Linda and I are
Yeah.
both service providers, and we slow down a little bit, but we also know several product providers who are making clocks and making
Rampant.
baskets, and they're just going crazy, and we always try to take them aside and say, here, go on a spa day, take a break because you've done a lot. So even if you're busy, try to take at least a day for yourself. And we get that. That's hard. It's very difficult. But with the extra workload plus the extra family and the extra friends and the pull of all of your time, make sure that you have something for yourself as well. I really want to
Right.
emphasize that.
And the other thing that kind of I was thinking about is, for some people, financially, this is a really hard time of year. They're trying to make everybody's dreams come true and they spend a lot of money. Try to plan what you're buying for people and stick to that. You know, if if the kids need to have so many gifts, then each of those gifts doesn't need to be 150 or $200 a piece. You know, gauge your and plan your spending so that when January and February come and the credit card bills start showing up, that stress doesn't start all over again. It's it can be a really difficult time for people. I mean, I know some companies do layoffs this time of year, which is horrible, but they get to this part of the year and they realize they didn't meet their numbers. And so be prepared to find a way to have a good holiday without putting yourself into bankruptcy to do it.
And if you're a company doing layoffs, you had months to catch up to this time now. So, preemptively work on that too.
That, and I know some things are beyond control, but I always think, if you're going to lay people off, don't do it now. That's just,
Yeah,
that's just,
it's always rough. But I do agree with my mom, I'm a January baby, January 3rd, Christmas, birthday. When you talk about like making everybody's dream, my mom always had little things for me.
mhm.
Because she was one of those kids who didn't have a birthday, she had lots of siblings, and so she made sure my birthday was really special, but she made sure Christmas and my birthday by just giving me, like, she would wrap a bag of M&Ms, guys. And as a kid, look, I have anxiety
Yeah.
around things that are wrapped. So as a kid, a bag of M&Ms was an amazing thing. I got to unwrap it and I was excited. It doesn't have to be big. I get that everybody wants to have that gift giving emotion. And yeah, financially, sometimes it's a little harder than we hope it is.
And I would hope that COVID taught us that giving doesn't have to be material things. My mom's birthday is December 23rd, and she was the oldest of nine. So we always made sure that her birthday was celebrated separately from Christmas so that she knew we saw her and honored her birthday, because I know that was hard growing up. And it's not that they didn't, but
Hmm.
and they celebrated Christmas Eve, so it just ended up being one big thing. And so we always wanted to make sure we did it special because she always celebrated, sometimes mine falls on Thanksgiving, and mom would make sure that Thanksgiving and birthday were separate. So
Yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot of pressure, the holidays and the birthdays and the business. And we just want everybody to take care of yourselves this holiday, to understand that if it's a slow time, maybe make sure that you're not overwhelming yourself in the new year. Kind of try to preemptively get some work done. If you are somebody who is overwhelmed during the holidays in your business, take some self care and ask for help. Get people to help you with your product building, get people to help you with your shipping. Get people who adore you to just assist. Make sure that your life is a little bit easier in the hard times, and understand that there's a whole community out there willing to support you. You just have to find the right ones. And I'm super excited that I have Linda and Lydia as support. I think it's amazing.
we love having you for support too. So even though you're far away,
I know I should have never moved. I'm going back to Denver. Promise.
we have a room. We have a room.
We need two. We got Charlie too. But with that being said, everybody, I appreciate you all. We are right at the end of our time. Please go to the QR codes over here. If you are looking at your peak performance and how can you manifest the best new year in your slow time, please talk to Linda. If you're busy and you need somebody to talk to about how can I take some self-care, how can I, manage this, talk to Linda. Also, I'm pretty good at managing your calendar and helping you get stuff.
Mm.
So book with us, spend some time with us. If you enjoyed this episode, we have all kinds of other episodes, QR codes for the YouTube playlist. We look forward to seeing everybody next week, same time.
Bye. Thank you.